Thank you. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Finnish education system. So why Finland? How could Finland get ahead of the seat of knowledge in North America, where we think everything that's worth inventing has been invented here? Well, Finland in the 1970s was scoring near the bottom of the barrel in international student testing. They decided to do something about it instead of talking about it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at in the next few minutes. A few facts about Finland. Population about 5.2 million people, a large landmass, but most people live in the bottom sector. It has 20 universities, 31 polytechnic institutions. R&D funding is at 3.6% of GDP, so it's a fairly advanced society. Their schools are full service, no school fees, free school transport, free school materials, free school hot meals, health and dental services. All of those are considered to be an important part of the education system. They spend about a third more than we do per capita on the education system, and they realize that the money to get the kind of results they have been looking for, they need to spend the money. At age 16, Finnish students can decide on whether to go to an academic route or a polytechnic route. If polytechnic's chosen, there's still a way to change back to the other stream and enter university. No homework in Finland. The average Finnish teacher is much more interested in the social aspects and the well-being and development of the student's life than the academic achievement. So there's no homework in the first 16 years. Standardized testing is kept to a minimum. There's one standardized test taken at age 16 years, and that's to decide whether you want to go into academic or polytechnic. Far different than what we do. The Finnish education system is flexible without a rigid curriculum. Teachers are extremely committed and love their profession. Competency is more important than testing. Social development is at the foremost place of hierarchy with a strong lens for community relationships. Relationships and learning are nurtured, including shared understandings between students and teachers. And no student goes hungry. The meals are free and they are healthy. And we know what an effect that proper nutrition plays in cognitive development. The ratio of teacher to student is relatively low, 1 to 13 in primary schools, 1 to 16 in secondary schools, about half the ratio of Canadian classrooms. There is no Pearson School for the Arts or Beal or Central Secondary. The best school is your local school. They all have the same services. We have a 93% graduation rate from high school compared to about 78% in Canada. And 2/3 of the graduates go on to college or university. Testing is not important in the Finnish model of education because teachers know how their students are doing and help them to be their best. It's much more a community style of learning. Without standardized testing, the government can still see the results of their education system, but measured in a different way. Levels of well-being, economic successes, and international student scores help them understand that. Highly competitive. On the teacher side, only 10% of teachers' applicants are successful. It is very highly respected. It's the same league as doctors or lawyers, and a master's degree is required. The profession is highly desirable in Finland, and there is much respect paid to teachers because they understand the work that's being done. All students are taught in the same classroom. There's no gifted, no remedial streams or classes. Everyone is in the same room. The difference between the weakest and strongest student is the smallest in the world. About 75 minutes of recess per day for elementary students, and the school day is only 4 to 5 hours long. The national curriculum that's developed by the government is only a guideline. School principals are also teachers. There are hardly any administration work to be done. And teachers are in each other's classrooms relatively often to learn and reflect on what's going on with their own students. Curriculum based on subject has been abandoned. Teaching by inquiry is based on topics, replacing teaching by subject. And the results, the international student scores speak for themselves. Finland has pulled far ahead of other countries in the world. So the questions I guess we have for Canada are, can we adopt any of these systems that Finland uses? Do we want to adopt them? Are we willing to commit to adopt them? What happens if we stick with our own system? We all know more complicated, more complex the world gets every year. We've heard about some of that tonight. Do we want to stick with what we're doing, or do we want to take a look at what another country that's very successful is doing? So you can learn more online with the Finland phenomenon. Clark sends his regrets not being able to be here, but we hope this is a willing kind of cap, or a good kind of cap towards a very interesting evening talking about education, motivation, giftedness. It's okay. Thank you very much.